My name is Edward and this is Fast News of the Day. 1. Impressive results of ChatGPT score on accounting exam. ChatGPT scores 47% on the accounting exam but performs worse than students who score 77%. According to researchers, the abilities of version 1 of this system were deemed impressive, but insufficient for questions regarding taxes or finances, as it struggled with mathematical processes. It performed better than students in auditing, but fabricates facts, doesn't recognize its own nonsensical errors, and often justifies its answers, even if they are incorrect. 2. The debt of the European Union countries is decreasing. The debt of EU countries has decreased to 84% of GDP at the end of 2022, compared to 85% in the previous quarter and 88% the year before. In addition, the deficit has decreased to 3.4% of GDP compared to 4.8% the previous year. The most indebted countries include Greece with a debt of 171% of GDP, followed by Italy with 144%, Portugal with 114%, Spain with 113% and France with 112%. On the other hand, the countries with the least debt include Estonia with 18%, Bulgaria with 23% and Luxembourg with 25%. When it comes to deficits, Italy had the highest with 8%, followed by Hungary, Romania, and Malta with approximately 6%. However, 6 countries managed to achieve a surplus, with the highest being Denmark with 3%, followed by Cyprus with 2% and Ireland with 1.5%. 3. Donald Trump is going to trial for civil rape. Former President Donald Trump is now facing a trial for alleged rape in the 90s, as a jury has been selected. The accuser, writer E. Jean Carroll, claims that Trump raped her in a Bergdorf Goodman department store on Manhattan's Fifth Avenue. She is also suing him for defamation and seeking unspecified damages. Carroll only confided about the alleged assault to 2 friends, fearing the lawyers at Trump will eat me alive. She detailed the incident in her 2019 book. Trump denies the allegations, calling them a hoax, a joke, and a complete fabrication, and claims that he has never met her before. He also said that Carroll is only trying to sell her book and that she is not my type. 4. Mercedes-Benz has completely withdrawn from Russia, but leaves door open. Mercedes-Benz has made a definitive exit from the Russian market, selling all its assets to Russian dealer group Avtodom. However, the German automaker has left the door open for a possible return in the future, as the deal includes a buyback option of shares. The sale includes a plant in Moscow which produces around 20,000 vehicles annually. Although terms were agreed last year, government approval was required for Western companies to leave Russia. Mercedes has not confirmed how long the buyback option will be available, but reports suggest it will be for the next 6 years. The move comes a year after carmakers' foreign firms in Russia were accused of financing Putin's war machine by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. For those familiar with history, it's not surprising that Mercedes has taken so long to act. During World War II, the official car of the German leadership was the Mercedes 770K Grosser Affiner Tourenwagen, while the Mercedes-Benz G4 was the off-road limousine used by the Wehrmacht. 5. Xi Jinping talks to Zelensky. This is the first such conversation. The presidents of China and Ukraine have just had their first phone conversation in a long time regarding their countries' relationship. President Xi Jinping has announced that China will send a special envoy to Ukraine to discuss ways to end the ongoing conflict. Meanwhile, President Zelensky has made it clear that peace is a top priority, but not at any cost. 6. Strict new content moderation requirements for major internet platforms. The European Commission has just released a list of 19 major internet platforms and search engines, with at least 45 million monthly users, that will now be subject to new, strict content moderation requirements. Among them are some of the biggest names in tech, including Google, Facebook, Twitter, Wikipedia, YouTube, Amazon Store, Apple App Store, AliExpress, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Zalando. Within the next 4 months, these platforms will be required to fulfill a full set of new obligations. This includes ensuring that ads cannot be displayed based on sensitive user data, such as their origin, political views, or sexual orientation. In addition, platforms will no longer be able to profile children, and users will have an easy way to report illegal content, which the platforms must moderate. Furthermore, the platforms will have to limit the spread of misinformation and content that negatively impacts freedom of speech and information. These new requirements are part of a broader effort by the EU to ensure that the Internet remains a safe and open space for all users. Extra. In conclusion, I would like to introduce to you some impressive CNC machine products by Beijing Jingjiao. Thank you for your attention. See you tomorrow. Bye.